right, traders, unfortunately, the stock market is closed today due to 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everyone. But it is very unfortunate, in my opinion. You know, to go spend money shooting fireworks off into the sky, blowing money, right? At least give us the opportunity to make money first and keep the markets open. But it is what it is. With that being said, the show goes on. I'm going to be preparing you to trade the best setups at the best prices. In terms of Monday, we had a nice green Monday. It was a slower day, but I did end up making more trades to make up for the lack of slowness. And since SPY was fairly slow, I focused on stocks, and I did very, very well on Rivian call options on Friday. So it was another successful green day as a whole within Trader Society. We had 47 people go green, only 4 red. With that being said, I'm going to prepare you to trade the best setups at the best prices. It is time for our newly update on the SPY. This is going to prepare you to crush it heading into the market tomorrow. So let's get straight into it. So in terms of the SPY, what I want you to mainly understand about this whole situation with the bull and bear trap, right? Because we know the overall market has been overall bullish. We know there's been plenty of great dip buying opportunities every single day. But in terms of a overall perspective, this is the kind of point that I want to kind of get through to you. This range right here, this 443 to 442.40, this overall range, 442 to 443, that $1 zone. What I want you to understand is, for SPY to flip, super bearish for the micro, where history repeats itself, it starts to sell off, it goes back down to fill this gap below at 438. What would need to happen is you would need to see 443 react as a resistance level, and you would need to see a breakdown below $442, this strong wick support right here at 442. If that can break below and react to strong resistance, then it's going to try to flip super bearish, and it's going to try to go to 438 to fill the gap. Now, if we continue to maintain above 442 and we continue to break above and hold this 443 to 440 range, then the SPY is going to go super bullish. And if it were to go super bullish and if it were to break out, what would be the next levels where the SPY would be heading to? The next first level that the SPY would be going to would be this $445.70 level, right? Let me share with you this level here real quick. So in terms of the next resistance levels on the SPY, as you can visually see right here, these are the next resistance. So if they break above 444, the next level they're going to send it to is 445.75. Now what's likely going to happen is, if it does go to 445.75, and say it breaks above 446 and the 446 puts go out of the money, a quick scalp against the trend, those 446 puts that went out of the money will likely go back in the money, and SPY will likely see a small drop in price towards 445.75 to 446. So you can look for a quick scalp against the trend on the 1 minute to 5 minute if that were to happen. Now, your best level for puts is, and if they break above 446, it reacts to support. Your next best level, and the only next level to try after that, is $450. That is the true best level for puts. As you can see, 450 is major resistance, and that's where the massive bull trap was created for a very big sell-off, right? So that's your overall bullish thesis, what key levels to be shorting for quick scalps against the trend with trend reversals. 450, I would go short, and I would hit puts even without a confirmation. It's just such a good level. Now, in terms of bullish thesis, SPY has been consistently bouncing off the bottom of these 30-minute wicks. You do have some bottom wicks right here at 442. You do have some bottom wicks right here at 442.70. We're going to be keeping an eye on that overall range. Now, like I said, for the bears to gain control and for them to flip it super bearish here, they're going to need to crack below 442 and react as a resistance. If they can't do that, then it's going to continue to maintain. So those are the point of views that I wanted to bring in terms of the overall market, and we're truly going to have to see how this reacts. Right now, the SPY is kind of sitting towards some previous support. You can see it had support here towards this well, technically it's considered resistance, but like some overall support towards this like 443.70 right here, this key support. Right now it's breaking above and it's trying to react as a resistance level, right? So the bulls are trying to gain control here. You can see this floor. If this right here reacts as a floor, then SPY tries to break above 444, which is major resistance. If this reacts as a resistance, then SPY tries to break below 443 to 442. And we're not holding our hopes, we're selling into the move, right? So if we get confirmation that's reacting to resistance, we sell into the next support level. We don't hope for it to crack. If we get confirmation that it's trying to break out and we buy the dip, we sell into the rip. We don't hope for it to break out, right? So those are the overall levels, and it's just understanding our new overall key level is very interesting. We're going to have a gap to fill at $444. We're going to have a gap to fill at $444 here, $443.79 to be exact. And this is truly make or break, my friends. We are literally sitting towards the exact top of a major bull trap level. And the SPY has been on a very overall bullish run, as we are in an overall bullish market as of now for the short term being. And you could just visually see, we have a lot of resistance at 444, right? So we're going to have to see if they can break above that and form support. If not, then it's going to be a great shorting opportunity. So just to visually look at the chart, this is what we're looking at, right? So this is the left-hand side. This is the right-hand side. In terms of what it's trying to do, it is trying to form some higher support, but it's also still failing to break below 444. What you need to understand is when a stock or when SPY is this high in price and it's at major resistance, if it cannot break out, then it must crash and it must break down below. So the clock is ticking and the bulls need to start showing up at the resistance levels. They are clearly showing up on every single dip on the way up, which is truly phenomenal, and I've been hitting those dips. But for this run to continue for the short term being, speaking for the very, very micro short term, obviously for the long term, things are looking overall bullish where this continues to push higher to 450. But in terms of short term, it's make or break. 444 is make or break. They need to break above. They need to turn into support. If so, we go to 445.70, likely rejects that level first. And then if it breaks above that and turns into support, then the bears are going to get absolutely wrecked and it's going to go to 450. Then we should drop in price at 450. And then in terms of bearish thesis, the bears need to quickly go under 442. If this can't go under 442 in price, then it's going to break out within time. That's just the reality situation. If they cannot drop it below 442 and react as a resistance, then it's going to try to break out before it tries to fill this gap at 438. Now, if this does flip bearish, as discussed in our last videos, if that were to happen, our key levels where if this went super bearish, these are the levels where we would be looking to dip by. The best level will be 438. There's a gap to fill at 438. This is previous resistance. It should react as a floor. Once this broke above resistance, it created a major bear trap. So 438, previous resistance should react as a floor. We also have a gap to fill in price at $438. So that would be one of our true best levels. Another level we're keeping an eye on is this $440.25 level. This was a key previous resistance level in the pre-market where the bears got trapped. So if this were to flip bearish, it would likely bounce right here. You can visually see you had resistance, the top of this wick at 440.25. Once it broke above that resistance, it had a massive breakout to retest 52-week highs. So it should bounce at 440.25, even if it flips super bearish. So I'm interested in calls at 440.25 and 438 if flips bearish. Now, if we're maintaining bullish, what would be my key levels that I'm just keeping an eye on? The wicks, man. SPY has been bouncing at all of these wicks. So pay attention to wicks that have not been tested. Pay attention to 442. Pay attention to 442.50. Pay attention to 443. Pay attention to all the bottom of these 30-minute wicks. Look for bullish confirmation on the bottom of those wicks, right? And just understand the worst thing you can do in current market conditions is to buy puts into a support level, into a dip, hoping that price and support is going to crack. If you're going to do puts, you need a strong key resistance level or a strong gap fill above resistance level. Like we discussed, you have 444, you have 445.70, you have 450. Ideally, you want these levels to have never been tested, right? You're going against the trend. You got to get into the best price possible if you're going to do puts, right? Understand the vast majority of the money in the market as of recently has been made in calls and buying the dips on calls. The worst thing you could do as of now, and this could change as time goes on, but as of now, right? And if it changes, we'll take our small loss and we'll learn to adapt and we'll switch sides. But just understand, worst way to play this market right now is to be buying puts into dips, into support levels, trying puts at 442 cracks, right? Worst thing you could do is that situation. So just understand that, and that's going to be today's overall lesson. if you do want to be a part of Trader Society, it's going to be the first link down below in the description. It is a one-time fee, and you get lifetime access to the chat room, to the Discord server. You also get lifetime access to the video lesson library, the course where I teach you all of the price action trading strategies, the gap trading strategies, how to read price action, how to read candlesticks, the 30-minute strategy, how to master and trade the SPY. You also get access to risk management, position sizing, mindset training, and of course, all the moderators and the networking opportunities and the local connections within the Discord server, along with every single trade that I make in real time. Let me show you guys a quick trade. This was absolutely phenomenal. Let me type in Rivian here. This was truly incredible. Rivian, I hit calls at the exact low multiple times, man. I had 6 wins, all wins, 6 wins in total on Monday. It was a fairly good day, even though it was slow, because I was focusing on stocks that had bigger moves instead of SPY, because SPY was just super slow and choppy. But even SPY, there was great opportunities. That's the beauty of this trading strategy that we're using. We're scalping. That's the beauty of it. But this was a very nice call right here. At 12:09 p.m., I alerted that I was in Rivian calls. All these did was go up, man. This was at 12:09 p.m. I alerted that I was in Rivian calls, and I did this 3 times. I had 3 wins on Rivian. But if you go to 12:09 p.m., you're going to see this was alerted at the exact low of day. You can see right here, if we go to 12:09 p.m., literally the exact low on this dip, I alerted calls, and I teach all of this within the chat on how I was able to do that. Those calls went up over 50%, the ones I alerted. We had so many people bank on Rivian on that specific time period. But yeah, man, if you want to be a part of it, it's the first link down below in the description. You get access to every single real-time trade that I make, and I am getting back into trading stocks as well. There's just too many big moves going on. When you're in a bullish market, call options make so much more money than puts. And if you look into stocks that are having big moves, you can do very, very well trading stocks in comparison to SPY. The moves can be a lot bigger on certain stocks with certain news, with certain catalysts, and a lot of stocks are still extremely oversold, right? As SPY is more overbought towards those 52-week highs. There's a lot of stocks that are spiking like crazy, like Lucid, like Rivian, that are extremely oversold in value. So I've been paying attention. I've watched a bunch of oversold stocks, and I'll use my 30-minute bullish strategy on those stocks as well. So yeah, man, if you want to be a part of it, it's the first link down below in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow, live at market open.